All right, kiddos, welcome back. We're still in Module 1, Topic 1, Lesson 4, Activity 4.2, reflecting any points on the coordinate plane. It says to consider the points x, y located anywhere in the first quadrant. Um, Basically, we're going to skip all of this talk right here, and I want you to go ahead and reflect the x, y coordinates across the x-axis first, and then the y-axis. And I want you to write, how do you think that looks, okay? How do you think that looks? Take about a minute to do this, and then pause the video, take a minute to do this, and then come back. Alrighty, so we have the coordinate x, y, and let's say we reflected x, y over the x-axis. And so our x should stay the same. The only thing that should change is our y. So the way that will look is x turns into negative. X is the same and y becomes negative. And then here we have our same coordinate xy. Here's our y-axis. We're going to reflect it over this axis. Again, when we reflect it, it's not moving along the y-axis, so your y should stay the same, but your x is now changing. And it's changing over to quadrant 2, which means your x is now going to be negative, and your y will stay the same. Okay? Alrighty. So it's asking you to graph points A, B, C. Not points. Graph triangle ABC by plotting the points A at 3, 4, B at 6, 1, C at 4, 9. And I'm just going to go ahead and connect those points. So this was A, this was B, and this is C. It says use the table to record the coordinates of the vertices of each triangle. So what I want you to do is to get your patty paper. You're going to go ahead and trace your y and your x-axis. I said that backwards. Your x and your y-axis. Trace your triangle A, B, C, and do the reflections it's asking for you to do. So the first one, it says to reflect triangle ABC across the x-axis. So again, the reason why I do want you to go ahead and draw your axis is just so you can better see it when you flip it, right? That's the beauty of the patty paper. So across the x-axis, that means we're going across this axis. Simply flip your paper over, line it up. Oh, did we not draw the line? I'm sorry. All right, let me draw that line really quickly. Flip it over, line it up, and go ahead and plot those points. Take a minute, and then actually take 3 minutes, because I want you to plot the points as you flip it over the x-axis, and then I want you to plot the points after you flip it over the y. So take 3 minutes to do that. All right, so after you've plotted those points, it should look like this. Flipping over my x-axis, remember we had this, and then we flipped it over the x-axis, and we're here, and plotted those points. And then same thing from here back to our original, our pre-image. We flipped over the y-axis, and I got here. Okay, now it's time to answer those questions. We're just going to go ahead and plot those points where we reflected. So let's look at triangle And I should have labeled those points. Let me go ahead and label them really quickly. We have A prime, B prime, C prime. We have A, B, and C. Okay. So now we see those points, right? All right, so we're going to go ahead and label this column first. For our first one, we have A at 3, -4. B is going to be at 6, -1. And C prime will be at 4, -9. Again, I'm really just reading my points from here and labeling them here. Okay? Looking at our triangle reflected across the y-axis, we have A at -3, 4. We have B at -6, 1. And we have C at -4, 9. Okay? Looking at those points, let's go ahead and move on. This is what I want to be your, this is where I want to be your exit ticket for the day. You're going to do 4 through D. Let's say about 7 minutes to do it. And I want you to turn the video back on to verify your answers, okay? So you're doing A through D by yourselves, well, with one partner, and you're gonna turn it back on in 7 minutes to verify your answers. Alrighty, so this is what we should have got. For A, it says triangle DEF is reflected across the x-axis. What are the coordinates of the vertices of the image? Just before, let's just go ahead and make that note one more time. I think we did it in a previous video, but it won't hurt to do it again. A reflection across the x-axis makes your y-coordinate the opposite sign, and vice versa. Reflection across the y-axis makes your x-coordinate the opposite sign, okay? So once you know this, doing these reflections becomes a lot easier. We're reflecting across the x-axis, so we know our y is being changed. So D is -710, so your 10 should be becoming negative. E is -5, +5, so your 5 should be becoming negative. F is -1, -8, so your 8 should be becoming positive. How did you determine the coordinates of the image without graphing the triangle? Well, writing the opposite sign for the y coordinates since it's a flip over the x. If you said something like that, you are in the right track. If triangle DEF is reflected across the y-axis, what are the coordinates of the vertices of the image? Well, again, y-axis, axis change. So again, we have D having -7 as our x. It should become 7. 10. Our 10 stays the same. E is at -5, +5. So our x should become a +5 and our E remains a regular 5. F is at -1, -8. 1, it should change to just 1, a +1. and negative 8 stays the same. And again, we wrote the opposite sign for the x coordinates since it's a flip over y. Here are those notes again. If you want to pause the video here and make sure you've gotten everything. That is the end of this video. So as always, any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know via email, and have a great day. Bye.